Hey guys, welcome again to another video of Dr. Theus. And today we have an interesting topic to discuss, which is why certain personalities clash instantaneously with others and why other times it connects immediately. Why sometimes you vibe with someone and sometimes you don't, almost instantaneously. And this is a very cool thing to be discussed because we will understand a bit more about uh, temperaments and interaction styles. So, without further ado, I'm looking here to the seagull to see if she will not attack my phone. One moment. Well, let's start with concrete and abstract. Okay, there are two different sections of communication style. All right, so there are people that like to communicate about concrete stuff. So, and by concrete I mean physical things, everything that you can see, you can touch, you can hear, you can smell, you can taste. This is concrete. So when you see someone talking about sports or what other people did, what other people were wearing, what other people spoke, it's always, almost all the time, concrete person, right? When they are talking about physical things, when you can imagine what they're saying, then it's probably physical. Now, the abstract people, on the other hand, they tend to speak about abstract, of course, ideas, concepts, statistics, everything that you cannot really touch. That's why it's abstract. So, in my experience, I have seen that when these two different types start interacting with each other, it doesn't have a very deep conversation, right? And another point that is interesting is that the concrete types are the S types, so sensing. All the personalities that have sensing in the first or second position are sensors, so concrete. And all of the personalities that have intuition in the first or second position are abstract people. So that's how you identify. So N's, intuition people, and S's, which are sensing people, right? Well, when you put these two together, they might talk, but it probably will not be a very interesting conversation for both sides because they like to talk about different things and it's not natural, right? So like here we are right now talking about ideas. It's an abstract YouTube channel. We are talking more about concepts, systems, sometimes statistics, sometimes about numbers, sometimes about ideas, but we are not talking about how to dress or how to cook something or something like that. It's not physical, it's more on the mind level. So that's a it's an interesting distinguish. I forgot the name. For serious. Next. Anyways, it's important to distinguish these two sections of the personality types. This is one. And the other one that I find also very, very interesting, that also creates a lot of conflict or connection, is when you separate between tankers and feelers. This is the second one. The tanking people, they are way more practical and they have the tendency of not caring at all about how they feel or how others feel. So they can really be toxic to, let's say, people that are feelers, right? So if you are a feeler, ideally try not to share sensitive personal topics with extrovert tanker person, because they will just see it in a logical way and judge you, much probably, possibly. I'm not saying that every time this will happen, but possibly, it's highly probable. and they will just see it as a problem to be solved, and they will not like. They would probably say, just get over it, just do it, even if you don't feel like, even if you are feeling scared, what does that matter? Just do it. They will give you the silly ass tips on how to deal with feelings. So when it comes to feelings, don't ask a tanker how to process that or how to deal with it. Please don't. They are not very good with it normally. So ideally, ask another feeler on how to process or how to deal with the struggles you are struggling with. Now, there are much more to be discussed with. There is also something called cognitive orbit, and it is when your cognitive functions match with each other. So for example, someone that has introverted sensing will match with someone else that has extroverted sensing. And ideally, in the same slot, in the same position, or secondly, in the same if it's a negative position, then the other person should also have the negative position. So for example, someone with introverted sensing in the parent function would somehow deal well with someone that has extroverted sensing on the inferior function, because those are both negative positions. So you have these variables. Cognitive orbit. That's the idea. So you have many variables that help people get along or help people to clash, right? So we spoke here about being abstract and being concrete, and also being thinking and feeling types. Yeah. Feel free to ask more questions about this. We will leave it for here for now. And yeah, thank you very much for the question. Thank you for watching until here. Thank you for investing in yourself and on having good relationships as well. I appreciate it. Remember to give it a like, subscribe, and follow the next video so we can continue discussing, right? Thank you. Have a good day.